Hi, it's Fiona Masterson from the Learning Reservoir. In this short video, I'm going to help you understand the ISO 13485 process approach to a quality management system for medical devices. ISO 13485 2016 is the quality management standard for designing a quality management system in a medical device organization. It consists of an introduction section at the start of the standard and followed by 8 clauses. Clause 1 is the scope, clause 3 gives you the terms and definitions that are used in the standard, and clauses 4 to 8 really forms the main chunk of the standard, and that's where you'll find your requirements for the standard within those clauses. But I want to point out the introduction section because it's really important to read it and understand it, and that is where we find the concept of process approach being referred to. And here in the standard it describes how that is the approach that's taken to designing a quality management system. When you implement ISO 13485, you're following the process approach. It talks about what a process is, that a process is any activity that receives inputs and converts it to outputs can be considered a process. It discusses how the output from one process can actually become an input from another process. And it highlights how an organization must identify and manage numerous linked processes. So that is how the ISO 13485 standard is built upon. It's built upon this concept of a process approach to a quality management system. What is a process? It has told us in the standard that this standard is taking a process approach to quality management. Would it make sense? Because the title of the standard is Medical Devices Quality Management Systems. So this is a quality management system, and this standard is designed in a way to look on your quality management system as consisting of a variety of different processes. If you were to look in the ISO standard, ISO 9000-2015, Quality Management Systems, Fundamentals and Vocab, it defines a process as a set of interrelated or interacting activities that uses inputs to deliver an intended results. Intended results are further defined as process outputs. So you will find a definition for a process within ISO 9000-2015. And the thing to remember is we're implementing a quality management system. And in the study of quality management, you will find that a process approach is a fundamental concept within quality management. It is where you focus on managing and improving processes within an organization to achieve desired outcomes. An organization has to be broken down into different elements in order for it to be managed correctly. You can't manage a organization as a whole. You have to break it down into different processes to be able to control it. So it's a key principle of quality management, and it's widely used in various quality management systems. So you will find this concept of the process approach in lots of the different ISO standards. In the ISO 9001 general quality management standard, it also is designed around a process approach, for example. So a process, well, what is it? Well, you have input, then you do something to it, you have a value added activity, and then you have an output. So for example, in our own homes, if we're filling our dishwasher, our input would be, our process would be filling up a dishwasher. Our input would be putting in the dishwasher tab, putting in the dishes into the dishwasher. Our input would be having water go into the dishwasher. The value added activity would be the washing off the dishes, and the output would be clean dishes. And you could say the organization could be a kitchen. So within a kitchen, you'll have a lot of different processes. You'll have your washing machine. You will have maybe a microwave where you microwave food. You will have a cooker where you cook food, and so on. So you can break up your kitchen into different elements, and that's or different elements or a process. And that is the whole idea of the standard. You're breaking up your quality management system in an organization into different elements, manageable elements or processes. So any activity that receives an input and converts it to an output can be considered a process. So in your kitchen, toasting bread, that's a process. You have an input, which is your bread. The activity is the toasting of the bread, and your output is toasted bread. Therefore, that is a process. So let's have a look at how you'd look at the CAPA process, for example. Let's apply the concept of a process approach to the CAPA process. So you could break down a CAPA process as follows. You would have inputs. So a CAPA is a corrective action, preventative action process. So when things go wrong, when you have problems, you have to do an investigation, you would often raise a CAPA, corrective action, preventative action. And the inputs into this system are, for example, you might have internal sources of data or external sources. So you might have a trend in internal audits. You're highlighting a lot of issues in a particular area. Maybe a lot of calibrations aren't being done within the required dates across different functions. You might want to raise a CAPA for that. There could be negative trends or metrics, or maybe there's a lot of complaints about a particular issue. You might need to raise a CAPA. Then you do the value added activity. You do your root cause analysis. You do your 5 why analysis. You create an Ishikawa diagram to try and determine what went wrong. You do 8D problem solving. So that's your activity. And then you identify your corrective actions. And then your output of that are your corrective actions, actions to be taken to fix the problem. Perhaps preventative actions to put in place to prevent other things that could go wrong from happening. You have to implement changes. You have to update your procedures. So see how you can look at a system like a CAPA process, and you can break a CAPA system and break it down into a process. That concludes this short video about the process approach to quality management system that is found in ISO 13485. If you found the video beneficial, please like our video and subscribe to our channel.